Hey guys, what's going on? It's Zero here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a video on Diablo 3 PTR. And this is just, I know PTR no one goes on it anymore, no one wants to play it anymore basically because it's just over. Everyone goes in for the legendary buff, really. But anyways, I came on here to test a couple things out. I tested out the fire barb, the physical barb, and the cold barb, and also the lightning barb. And the best one, in my opinion, and what I've seen, was the physical barb. So there's just a couple of things. I mean, it's all the same, really. It really is all the same. So you're gonna use this, and I don't even know why I'm using this belt. I shouldn't really be using that. I should be using something else. And it's super light right now. I don't know why. Yeah, you would use one of these two belts, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing greater rifts, yeah, you want to use the ignore pain belt. But if you're doing like T6 rifts, which T6 now is just face where anyone can do it, it's extremely easy. With this build and with a couple of other tweaks, I one-shot T6. I honestly one-shot T6. Not T6 elites because I have a bunch of actually furnaces and they're not as good as this one, mainly because it's ancient, and that's really the only reason. But heart slaughter is basically the one thing you're gonna want to use if you're gonna go physical. If you can use like other ones if you don't have a furnace, but this one's really good. Plus, and T6, like, it's a really good combination with these two rings. Because here, I'll show you why. We'll go to here. I'm gonna go over the build. I want to show you guys this. It's crazy. So these two new rings were revamped. They have a whole new thing. All of your damage is increased by up to 150% based on how much primary resource you have. So if you fill your fury all the way up, you have 150. So I'm gonna put these rings on. That's why you have to use the 6 or the 5 set. I don't know why Raker's didn't get another piece. Who knows? Well, maybe because they had everything. They could have had every belt. So you can see. I mean, I know they're skeletons. We're gonna go and find an elite. But these guys, we're one-shotting these big guys. With no gems. Like, I don't have a gem on that other one. In greater rifts, it's also really good. Trust me, it's just you have to know how to play it. You can't just rush into things. Like, I think I did greater rift 36 maybe. I'm not sure. I actually failed at it because there was no. I could have. It was really easy. It really was, but there was just. At the end, at the rift boss, there was way too low density, and it was what's his name? And this is called the Ancients or Wrath of the Berserker. Yeah, they're kind of in a weird spot. There you go. See, I just one-shotted those guys, or not one-shotted, but I took them out pretty quick. And that was without Wrath of the Berserker and Call the Ancients. And those increase your damage by a bunch. So yeah. Alright. And anyways, yeah, those basically, if you're doing T6 or greater rifts, you're gonna want to use these. You're gonna want to use these basically all the time. That's bottom line. Gems, the gems that you're gonna use are, now I haven't found my pain enhancer gem, which does a physical damage thing. But I use the smite gem, and I think I use the lightning gem, but I don't have it on this guy when he's playing Crusader. So this build is insanely strong. Breakers, I can honestly say it's one of the strongest, probably below Monk. Although Demon Hunter, I think it's still up there. I don't know what's going on with Demon Hunter. I haven't played Demon Hunter. I used to play Demon Hunter a lot, but I don't know anymore. But anyways, yeah. So now to the build. You're gonna want to have ancient Parthian defenders. If you're gonna do greater rifts, you're basically gonna want to have these. Each stunned enemy within 25 yards reduces your damage taken by 11%. So meaning you're not gonna take a bunch of damage if you know, a couple enemies and you're in the middle, you're not gonna get hurt a lot. You're gonna hurt a lot less than you would if you didn't have these. So those are the bracers that you want to have. They're you want to have those, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Vile Wars, obviously, Fury Search deals 35 increased damage for every enemy you hit while charging. These increase your damage insanely. And then the whole Raker set. I won't go too much into detail. I know I have to re-roll this to increase revenue damage. What's 12% Fury Charge? Physical Amulet, and then these two rings of focus, and I think Restraint. This one's not the best. I know I had to re-roll, but yeah, you can also go SOJ. You really don't have to use these. I'm just like, if you want to have a lot more damage, which who doesn't, right? You want to use those because you're basically gonna be at max Fury the whole time. So yeah. Alright, now we're just gonna go ahead and go over the skills. Now I actually found these out a while ago, so on top of the 150% more damage for the rings, you get 25% more damage while you're at near max Fury. And if you don't know how Rakers works or Furious Charge build works, you're basically going to be at max Fury all the time. So really not going to have a problem. So you're going to have 175 damage plus, basically. So you want to use Berserker's Rage. Brawler, as long as there is 3 enemies within 12 yards, all your damage is increased by 20%, which is always going to be, you know, up in the enemy's face. So this is always good. And then Bocathos, Buna Bocathos. This is only if you use Call of the Ancients and Wrath of the Berserker. You don't really have to use this. You can use something more defensive, like Nerves of Steel, Tough as Nails, you know, something like that. But you don't have to use it. Or you can use Rampage, Unforgiving. So yeah. So that is Buna Bocathos. Ruthless, you deal 40% damage to enemies below 30 health. There's going to be a lot more, you know, enemies that are like below 30% health, 40% health. So, or 30%, my bad, I got this mixed up. Alright, now I don't know why I'm using that. You would usually use Maniac, just to increase your damage on Frenzy. This is for a single target, if you're going to be doing bosses and stuff. For greater risks, but you're going to be basically using Frenzy for everything now. So, you know, basically, this is what you're going to use for single attack. If you're on the Rift boss, you're going to want to go ham with that Maniac, or ham with that Frenzy. So, that's what you're going to use for primary. Or you can guys, you can switch these out as any way you want. All you got to do is make sure you know, you can tweak them, but this is what worked for me. Furious Charge Stamina. This is the best. Generate additional fury for each enemy hit while charging. It's by far the best if you're going physical, because you know those rings, you're always in. If you don't have that one passive skill that generates fury for you, those rings are going to give you 150 plus the Berserker's Rage. That's 175 damage increase, and while you're at max Fury. So basically every time you're charging, you're getting that bonus. So this is why you use Stamina, and this is why it works so well instead of the Fire build. You can use it with the Fire build. I haven't really, you know, it didn't work out that well for me. It works really well in T6. It just destroys T6, but it didn't work. You know, I prefer the physical Barb build, and a lot of people have as well. Warcry, you don't have to use Warcry. You can use Battle Rage, Marauder's Rage, if you're gonna want damage, or if you don't have enough survivability, then you definitely want to use Warcry. You can use, you know, whichever one you want, but I would use Marauder's Rage just because I want that increased damage. So yeah. Anyways, Call the Ancients, the Council Rises. This is just for single target, or you can use it for multiple, you know, things like whenever you go against elites. If you're going fast rifts, call these in, call in your or turn on your berserker mode. Yeah, your Wrath of the Berserker, and you just destroy destroy elites. So this is why I use it, just for the speed. You don't have to use it, obviously. You can use something else like ignore pain, but I use it for single target, you know, rift bosses. Especially for Raker set. It's hard to go against one shots, or not one shots, single target, because you're basically, you want a big, like, you want a lot of mobs around that one Rift Guardian, and then you can charge back and forth, so you can hit the Rift Guardian while you're charging at the other enemies, taking them out as well. So that's kind of why it's hard. That's why I use this. Sprint, I wouldn't use this on Greater Rifts. I would use Ignore Pain for it. I just use this for faster rifts, T6ers. So you guys can, you know, if you guys think you guys have enough health and just survivability, and you want to go try out Greater Rift 36, 39, 40, 41, you know, those high Greater Rifts, you can definitely go for it. But I would use Ignore Pain if you could do Greater Rifts. If you're doing T6 rifts, just do Sprint. Really, it's really helpful. You go faster, so yeah. Marathon for that extra speed. So Wrath of the Berserker. Wrath of the Berserker, Insanity. While if you gain increased damage. This is for a single target as well, and just if you're just trying to do a bunch of damage. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. You guys can also use the furnace, but yeah, you guys can use not one of my furnaces, but you guys can use one of your furnaces. So I've gotten a bunch of these, especially on PTR. So they're kind of hard to find, I think. I'm not sure. I only got it because of the 2,000 bonus. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. The gems, again, you can really use your own, but the poison gem I would recommend for Greater Rifts. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.